We left off last time with the Reneged declaring war on the Dragon Cult, boldly attempting to claim a number of their systems. Will there be interference from the United Nations of Earth, or perhaps the aggressive Entmood? Let's find out. It's time to go to war. It's going to be 1v2. Hope this doesn't end poorly.
Whoa, I think I'm about to be invaded by these robots. Error.
Time to call Daddy.
In the time that passed before declaring war, our fleet ballooned to over 9,000 power. We cut through their initial systems like butter. With the high speed of our corvettes, they had no way to react in time. The Dragon Cult had amassed a large amount of systems throughout the galaxy, which would take even our swift corvettes an extended period of time to capture. As of this time, we hadn't spotted anything resembling a defensive fleet, but that didn't mean that it didn't exist. As far as our fleet could delve into Dragon Cult territory, we had to make sure we could retreat quickly enough to reinforce our defenses at Kamiya. We didn't mind the cult retaking any systems that we occupied, but we didn't want them moving into our own systems. If you break down their territories, there were a few key systems that we would need to control. They had upgraded space stations at Gotara, Athuna, Clea, and Talassus. Their homeworld, the heart of their economy, was located at Yapathanor. In our haste to sweep across their systems and take as much as we could before they could react, we made a huge mistake. Oh shit, they've got the dragon. Oh no.
Oh, you attacked the Dragon Cult.
There goes my entire fleet.
Uh-oh.
I can
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name.
How are you going to narrate over this?
A space dragon was not something we were capable of defeating, even with our near 10,000 power fleet. We had lost 2/3 of our entire fleet in this era. Our only saving grace was that the enemy's forces were still nowhere to be seen. We would rush to recover.
Gordo's a crafty man.
All these races are traps.
What can I say? I love traps.
Well, that means I can't beat them. This thing's too strong. This was a meaningless war. Guess I could do status quo at the end. It was true. Although we wouldn't be able to complete a total victory, we would still be able to take at least a few of their systems while not capturing their capital. Can they control that dragon?
Only after they do all the quests and shit.
It's not coming for me, because that would be really bad if it did.
Yeah, so you can probably take everything but the home system.
I think I've claimed it. I don't know if that's going to affect my ability to win. Before we could think about winning, we'd need to rebuild our fleet. We'd been smart with our resources and had plenty of alloys saved up to reinforce. We'd also researched an upgrade or two for our existing ships. Now was a good time to implement them.
Still only got corvettes, you know.
You're fighting in corvettes, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 10k fleet power, all of corvettes.
I'm in the same boat. As big as our losses had been, we were still managing to keep up with the flat-headed stick wielders at least. Staying with corvettes was a conscious decision for the Reneged. Speed and maneuverability can be a valuable ally in war. In saying that, our plantoid researchers were indeed hard at work on a secret new class of ship that, if finished, would be implemented immediately into our fleets. We would have to leave that in our scientists' capable hands for now. On the war front, we'd fully reinforced our fleets and sent them back into battle. We took a different approach this time, taking the Dragon Cult's undefended outer edges first. With still no sign of a defensive fleet, we were wary but aggressive.
Highest variant to declare war on us. It's these robots for sure. Got it in for me.
Is it Error that's going to attack you safe?
Yeah, for sure.
They just sent me an insult.
Well, Vada said, what are these? They're determined
Exterminators.
Determined exterminators.
Error, the aggressive determined exterminators in the northwest, were posturing dangerously. There wasn't much we could do about it for now. We had our own war to win.
Which empire is that, sorry? Here's the other exterminators.
The other exterminators.
Troubling news. Rico, the only member of our playgroup that we still had no information on, had been confirmed to be a robotic exterminator himself. For now, we could only deal with the threats we could see in front of us.
I'll give you free access to my borders, Reneged, and you're very welcome to claim some of Era's territory if you like.
I can't right now, but if I get into a position to help, I will. I just had the Entmoot claim one of my areas, so I could be into another war immediately after this. Now the Entmoot, our fellow plantoid hive neighbours to the west, were claiming our systems. This was our worst case scenario, getting into 2 wars from different directions. We would have to push for an end to our conflict with the Dragon Cult before things got messy. Speaking of messy, Era was on the move. A war declaration.
It's happening. My military vessels are on the opposite side of the map.
You better bring them over. So you've got a defensive starbase. You could start building defensive platforms there. That might help. If Era were to defeat the Leviathan Kingdom of Hell, we would be next. It was imperative that Safe held his border.
Here they come, 7k.
While distracted with dealing with Era, the Dragon Cult finally made their move. A handful of hostile fleets appeared out of nowhere. Perhaps they'd been battling somewhere else all this time. Negmind didn't know. What we do know is that they were attempting to reclaim their territories. Thankfully, their fleets were smaller than expected. This was what our corvettes were made for. They were the fastest ships we had, and once they'd caught up with the last enemy fleets, this war would be all but over.
What? That was fast. They immediately took over my spaceport.
Oh yeah, because they are thingy, yep. You can do the same to them, it's a different kind of war.
Yeah, it's really rough. That really threw me off the other time.
Technology conceived.
They can wipe you out in one war, completely.
Your daddy should get involved before that.
We had to remember, Safe was a scion. Although things may have looked bad for him now, a powerful fleet from his overlord should be on its way to help him.
I have to fight the ships. I can't defend myself.
You can take it all, don't get scared if they take a lot off you very quickly, because you can also take it back very quickly. You just have to make sure you can actually win the fight. If you don't have enough ships to beat them, just keep running away. As we chased the last fleets of the Dragon Cult, we were discovered by someone or something. XT489 Eliminators.
Hi, Neg.
Pleasure doing business with you, I'd like to be friends. It was Rico. We would have to trick him into befriending us.
Prepare to die.
Okay, maybe not. We couldn't handle another threat on top of our existing ones. It was time to end the war. Overall, the war would be considered a success, although the presence of their space dragon meant that we could only settle for a status quo victory. All up, we had come away with 6 new systems reaching deep into their territories. Among them, we had also taken a planet in the Gotera system. Additionally, there was a habitable world in the Bovatir system that the Dragon Cult hadn't wanted. We, on the other hand, could make use of it. Although we hadn't totally crushed the Dragon Cult, this victory would set us up to take even more systems if we were to re-engage them in war. With the war over, we were free to find out what was going on with Safe and his war with Era. Hey, I'm out of my war. Do you need assistance, Safe?
I think I'm dead.
Oh shit.
So you do.
Is your daddy not helping?
They're just sweeping through my entire nothing.
Can you surrender?
No, because they're determined exterminators.
What's their power of the fleet that's going through?
8k.
Okay, I can beat them. The once mighty Leviathan Kingdom of Hell was in serious trouble. Unlike a normal war, which involves claims and slowly advancing on an enemy, a war with a determined exterminator is all or nothing. Despite the sinister nature of Safe's people, they were a barrier that were protecting our borders from the aggression of Era. We couldn't let them fall, or we'd have yet another aggressive threat on our borders. I wonder if I can somehow make friends with you. What can I do to, like, help save? Like, I can't join his war, can I?
Can you reach him?
So you can just declare war on them, essentially.
But wouldn't I then take their land and not save? Oh, I could come
Kill their
and
fleet.
kill their fleet and then leave. Okay. We're now at war with them. Before we could take on Error, our fleet of corvettes needed repairs and refits. Our scientists had been busy during our time spent at war, developing stronger shields, armor, engines, and weaponry. Most important of these were our new disruptor weapons. Although they didn't pack the same punch as traditional lasers or missiles, they fully penetrated both shields and armor to immediately damage the hull of our enemies. With these upgrades, our fleet of 70 corvettes was now a whopping 16,000 power, which doubled the current Error raiding fleet. We could definitely defeat them, we just needed the Leviathan Kingdom of Hell to hold out until we could get there. Do you have a fleet that's like in space and returning at some point, or is it just totally annihilated?
Oh, I've just my Scion fam finally came through. They've just
Your 11,000...
my 11,000 fleet. Here we go.
Nice.
All right.
Just don't take a fight unless you can win it. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
As our speedy corvettes moved at top speed to intercept Error, Negmind heard some potential conflict in another part of the galaxy.
I might spice things up a little bit.
How will you do that?
Do we have a diplomatic solution?
To what?
What are you talking about?
Deeds, I just claimed a bunch of your clone theocracies systems.
Oh, I didn't get a notification because they're not mine.
Thank you for the 10
alright.
minerals.
I just woke up at Leviathan
Uh-oh.
and he's destroying one of my planets right now.
Can I just have a little nibble?
I'm
Well.
relying on them pretty heavily to feed me research at the moment.
Just a little nibble. I won't take bear. I can't.
No. You can take on the swarm.
As Ahmad and Dietz's conflict became apparent, we engaged the bulk of Error's fleet. Somehow, they were now only 4,000 power. Because of this, we made quick work of them.
Just a nibble.
Hey, there goes the 4K fleet. Do you see them having any other forces? I can't see anymore.
Not in my territory. I
Alright.
think they've pulled them back. Yeah.
I wonder if I can just settle... I can end the war with them now. I won't until you're sure you're right.
It's going to take me a while to reclaim everything.
Oh, you've got a while, I assume.
Reach 100% war exhaustion. Forced to make peace 24 months.
Yep, so you've got a time limit now. You got to just take as much back as you can in that time.
Yep. 250 days to take back a few bases. Can I take my last, I think, 3 bases?
I mean, just surviving is a win.
Yep.
True.
Just be happy that you're still in the game, and now you can prepare for revenge in a couple of years when you're allowed to fight again. Because they'll be ready, so you have to be ready as well.
Come on, go, 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 go. You can do it. 30 days. Can I take Fiona's back? Come on.
With the Error crisis averted for now, Ahmad, Dietz, and Vada continued to negotiate in unseen parts of the galaxy.
I think this does no damage to you. This is an uncolonized planet.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you very much. I will send you a gesture of good faith. Wait. Are you taking more systems, Varda? You
What? Yeah.
greedy,
No.
greedy bastard.
Well, you got, like, I've got to keep my APM up. I'm like, I've got to do something with all this APM.
Varda and I made a border deal, and he's just gonna post a picture of the border deal we made and how far he has gone over.
Did we make a deal? I feel like I don't remember that.
You feel like you don't remember.
Yeah, that's how I feel in my heart.
This was the line that he would stay north of.
What? Nah.
Yes. You said you wouldn't pass this the vortex.
Listen, anyone that you see on the other side of that line is a volunteer and is not affiliated with We Got Big Stick
Right.
stuff.
They're independent Zionists.
They're culturally part of our nation, but not. If they happen to have a referendum, so
So they wouldn't mind a bit of You wouldn't mind if I take care of them.
I mean,
They're independent, right?
quasi-independent?
How about if I just have a nibble?
I mean, how big are your fleets?
I'm confident in my fleets. How big are your fleets?
Not as big as they're about to be, since you said that.
While tensions continued to rise on the other side of the galaxy, we had made the most of our recent expansions. The Reneged now stretched out across 12 separate worlds. Although some of these worlds were freshly colonized, it would only be a matter of time before they advanced into powerful resource-providing planets. Although Negmind was enjoying this brief period of peace, he knew that the Reneged should push their advantage while they had it. During the conflict with the Dragon Cult, there was another civilization that had shown aggression to us. With the cult still licking their wounds, and the Leviathan Kingdom of Hell holding error at bay, perhaps it was time to teach our neighbouring plantoid hive a lesson. We began making claims on the Entmoot's systems. While our spies began to collect more information on the Entmoot's forces, our scientists made a breakthrough. We now had access to cruisers. These cruisers dwarfed our current corvettes, being approximately 4 times the power of our speedy interceptors. Don't be mistaken though, these cruisers were no slouches. They were also built to be fast. And what they lacked in the corvette's evasiveness, they made up for it in weapon range. Packing long-range missiles and a hangar bay to house our improved strike craft, the goal of our new cruiser fleet was to outrange and outspeed their opponents, finishing fights while taking minimal damage. This would greatly reduce the resources needed to repair and reinforce our fleets over extended conflicts.
Well, don't you love it when the AI builds like over 1,000 worth of armies on all the planets?
No, that is the worst.
Why?
But it's your AI, that's the one that you made.
Yeah, true.
Why don't you declare war on Error?
He's too far away.
I can't even see him.
The time had come. We made our final claims on the Entmoot and started our mission to reseed their planets with our superior plantoids. We were staging our war from our bastion at Terzam. Like our last war, we'd be sending in our speedy fleets and grabbing as much as we could. We had priority targets at Ankestar, Terra, and Alpha Centauri. Their capital and likely main shipyard was located at Amberona. Their forces appeared to be consolidated at their capital, with roughly 8,000 combined power. Our corvettes alone were enough to win that battle, and with our cruisers queued up for manufacturing and progressively joining the fight, Negmind was certain that not even a space dragon would be able to deny us victory here.
You just had complete unrestricted expansion, Vada.
Well, no, I mean I had to kill someone, but yeah.
Had to betray a few people.
Aside from that. I've never met this man in my life.
We were continuing to manage our empire with our fleets carrying out their orders when we noticed that the Entmoot fleets had abandoned their capital and travelled to the Paya system. We wouldn't let them escape. For some reason, they had split their 2 4,000 power fleets and came at me individually. This was a critical error, not that it would have changed the result. With that battle out of the way, we were free to capture all remaining Entmoot systems. Their fleet would likely return at some point with heavy damage, but they wouldn't be a threat. It was at this point that Negmind wondered why the Entmoot had even tried to pick a fight with us in the first place. Maybe they felt the same as us, that this galaxy simply wasn't big enough for 2 plantoid hive-mind civilizations. Their planets would prosper more brightly under the seeds of the Reneged. Elsewhere in the galaxy, tensions were rising yet again.
So are we having a war or not?
I'm happy with our borders, I don't mind.
Okay, cool.
But
Because
if
I'm
you
just
wanna have
in
a
the
war-
area, so it'll take me like 10 years to get back over here. So, just if you want to go, it's better to go now. For me.
So now you're finally built up all that time.
Church of Scientology. Hello.
Hello.
The simmering tensions between Varda's Neanderthal stick-wielders and Ahmad's unknown civilization were interrupted by the discovery of Dietz's Church of Scientology. Negmind hoped we would be able to discover them as well before too long. It was hard to bring plants to civilizations that we had no knowledge of. On the war front, the Reneged hit a minor delay. Ooh, this guy's got a defensive army 1,700.
Lol.
On this planet.
Yeah, I had that issue. You just gotta bomb this shit out.
Yeah. Most of the Entmoot planets were only moderately defended, meaning we could continue invading most of them. However, it would be impossible for our armies to invade a planet with a defensive presence that strong. We would have to soften them up by bombarding them from space. This would take some time, and luckily we were in no rush. Oh, the Orb Collective, eh? They're making claims on us. History was repeating. While in the middle of one war, a threat from our flank was now posturing for another. The Orb Collective was another machine intelligence that had weaved its way to our eastern borders. We had yet another space station that we would have to reinforce.
Technology conceived.
Alright, empires are preparing to declare war on us. Here comes error again.
Hope you've been preparing.
Have 2 military fleets. They're very, very powerful.
Council agenda available.
Here it is. The whole galactic community.
Hey.
Finally, the birth of the galactic community. This would bring all the galaxy's reasonable civilizations together and let us see the final pieces of the puzzle of everyone's locations. Someone who was not invited to the galactic community was Error.
War goal, cleansing.
That's not good. But you could cleanse them as well.
Be able to do something here. I should be able to win this. I should be able to win this fight.
As it turned out, he did not win the fight.
Maybe not.
Safe.
well, when I was like moving my fleet, he had like 4K power, and then another backup fleet appeared out of.
All right. Well, my war's going to be ending soon.
Oh yeah, he completely wiped me out. Oh my goodness me.
I think I'm gonna. All right. How strong is he?
I don't understand. I don't understand how. Gosh, he completely wiped me. I was like 7,000. He was 3,000, and yet he destroyed me. I don't understand.
He might have like an advantage over you in what he's built somehow.
He's about 15,000.
Okay, I will build some more. Error was back and stronger than ever. Safe was going to be in big trouble, but we needed to take that last heavily defended planet before we could successfully end our war. We would need another solution.
I'll come and kill him for you if you give me science.
It's a good deal.
We ain't got any science over here. Science for fight.
They're not smart, but they're brave warriors, and they're willing to help you for a price.
Done.
That was the break we needed. With Varda coming to Safe's aid against Error, we could fully commit to finishing our war with the Entmoot. After successfully occupying their planet of Starnut, we had finally beaten the Entmoot into submission. They were willing to surrender. With our victory, we had taken a large chunk of their systems, as well as a few planets. We were now sitting on a total of 16 planets. Although it was true that some of these new homes which we'd taken from the Entmoot were not our ideal climates, our progressively improving scientists had already unlocked the techniques required to terraform these worlds to our liking. The galaxy was opening up swiftly. We were in a powerful position to continue to chip away at both the Entmoot and the Dragon Cult until both areas of the galaxy were full of our peaceful plantoid people. The Orb Collective had crept up on us as well, showing their intention to potentially challenge us in the future. The Leviathan Kingdom of Hell were once again in a war with Error, hiring Varda's big stick lovers as mercenaries to assist. Meanwhile, these same mercenaries continued to have simmering border tension with Ahmad's bugs to the east. All the while, there was talk of a silent threat growing in the south, eliminating any organic life forms it encountered. What would be the Reneged's next move? Would they continue their hostilities with the Dragon Cult? Would they need to step in to assist against Error? Would the big sticks try to whack the bugs? We'll have to wait and see. Until next time, Negmind wishes you well.